All right, guys, welcome to my senior project presentation. I'm excited to show you guys what I have built this semester, or what I've been working on getting built. Oh, Nicholas is here.
Oh,
Nico?
Nicholas is here.
Yeah.
So
What's up,
my
Nicholas?
senior project is a set of Android applications that are built to help DJs seamlessly manage their incoming song requests from patrons. Me and my dad, we were talking about it at the beginning of the semester, and this is how the idea came to life. Is he told me that there were some issues that he has when he's DJing an event where he'll have people come up to his DJ stand or his DJ booth and write down a song request on a piece of paper, and then he'll just play it from that piece of paper. Hey, Nico, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, good deal. Anyway, so the problem is sometimes people would go up and write stuff on there, and their handwriting was like chicken scratch, so you couldn't read it, you couldn't understand it, and so it's kind of hard to play a song that you can't read. You know, kind of hard to find that. And another problem being, once someone comes up and writes something down and then walks away, if the song is not an appropriate song to be played at the event, then the DJ doesn't want to have to go hunt them down and say, hey, your song, we can't play it, sorry, it's just not an appropriate song for this event. For example, at like a wedding reception, the bride and groom may want a certain style of music to be played. And so what we've built, or what I've started to build, is a set of applications, a business portion and a client portion, a client app and a business app. And those apps work together to be able to send song requests through a database to the DJ's phone. And then the DJ can then manage the songs that are coming across and either add them to the queue and then inform the user, hey, your song's been added to the queue, and this is your estimated wait time. Or, hey, this song is not an appropriate song to be played at this event and can't be added to the queue. Please pick another song and, you know, request another song. So real quickly, I just want to start showing you guys some visuals. I'm going to show you guys the business portion of the app first, as that's the most developed. Real quickly, I'm going to actually walk you first through the project outcomes. Can you guys see everything?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
The project outcomes and measurements. And so this app is not completed yet. I did underestimate the amount of time it was going to take to be able to do this kind of work. There was a lot of unforeseen hiccups. And so only some of the functionality was actually able to be implemented. So the first project outcome here was the business version of the app correctly needs to assign a unique ID on app purchase. This one was successfully met, and I will be demonstrating this all to you later through the app. Outcome 2, the business version of the app's core functionality is operational. Right now, it does not currently function. The core functionality of being able to receive and manage the songs does not function yet. That is the biggest part of the application, and it's been the biggest struggle thus far. Client version of the app's core functionality is also not operational, and nor is the queue functionality operational, like the being able to add users to the queue and provide them with a time estimate. However, the UI and what I do have is completely functional. All of the UI components work, the buttons work, everything works. And I've tested this on a number of different devices to make sure it looks good, but for the purpose of simplicity and today, I will just show you the demonstration of on one device. So we have my little app emulator window here. That was the splash screen you just saw. And here is the login page, okay? So with the login page, if we don't put anything and we click login, it's going to give us these error messages. Hey, password must be provided, email address must be provided. So you need to be able to add or put down your stuff. Currently, I want to show you guys the authentication database window. So right now I have deleted all the users, so there's no users to be authenticated, so I can't log in right now. But I'll take you guys through the register process. So we register, got this little welcome page here that kind of explains that we're going to be going through a 3-step process. We'll continue. This is our onboarding section. We've got 3 sections of the onboarding. The first step for DJs to do is to set their ID, their DJ ID, which will distinguish them from other DJs and allow it so users don't send song requests to the wrong event. Next, the DJ will have to display their ID where everyone at the event can see it. And they will need to place it either on their banner setup, on a table near their setup so everyone can see it. And then they'll be able to receive requests at that point. Once the users have the ID, they can send song requests to that DJ's device. So then we've got this get started button here, and we can set some login information. So we're going to quickly set some login information. I'll just say username Dylan James, my name, and then I'll do my email, dylanjames@gmail.com, and then a password of this is a fake password. Okay. We've set everything there. We continue. Your account has been successfully created. So if we look over here and refresh this window, we can see that in the authentication, my email has been added with a user ID. And we can also actually take a look. Well, actually not yet. We've got to set a DJ ID first. So I'll just say, DJ James. That's my DJ ID, for example. We'll send that, and then it takes us to the main portion of the app. But what happens when I set that DJ ID in the database is if we view this database, it'll actually show up saying, oh, hey, here's your DJ ID with your login information. So I've got my DJ ID here, my email, password, and username. What's nice about this is this will allow for users to be able to send information to this branch of the database, and the DJ's device can listen to changes and then update their own user interface from there. Here on the main screen, we have a logout button, logout function. Real quick, just to demonstrate the login, I'll quickly log in with my credentials I just made. This is a fake password. And then we log in, and it takes us back to this main page. Next thing, real quickly, I would like to show you guys the client version of the app, which actually is not complete yet, but I'll show you as much as I can. Gonna just play that. Here we got the emulator window. So we've got welcome. Before you can make song requests, you need to enter the DJ's ID. Don't know where it is, just ask the DJ or look at their booth/stand. So real quickly, we'll just, it actually won't work to look up a DJ. So right now I just have the button functionality working. So we click next, and here's the page to make song requests. They can add their song, artist, album year, and a note. And then they'll click send, and that will be able to send. Right now, like I said, the functionality is not working, but that will be taken care of later. I guess the last thing I can show you before we get into the Q&A session is actually with the business portion of the app again. So I will show you this, that error handling has been properly handled in the register fields. If you enter an invalid email like dillo.com and then continue, password must be provided. So let's say like not a password. Oh gosh. Please enter a valid email is also displayed. And the username isn't super crucial or important there, but the most important thing is that if there's an invalid email, it will notify the user, say that is not a valid email. And even if they enter a valid email, if it's not in the authentication system, it will not allow you to log in. Same thing with the login page. Oh, I'm sorry, it just went to the client version of the app. Login page, if I enter like a fake email, like let's say fake email @gmail.com and fake password, it will also not allow for logging in. There is no user with the provided email. Please register your email below. And then if I enter, obviously, an existing email, dylanjames@gmail.com, this is the one I just registered with, and I enter an invalid password, it will give me the error, this password is invalid, and the login will fail. I've also got this forgot password functionality where I can really quickly reset my password if I want to, dylanjames@gmail.com. I'm going to show this as fast as I can because I'm running out of time. But reset, instructions for password reset have been sent to your email. So I can go to my Gmail and reset my password from here. Click on this link and it will allow me to set my new password. New pass. Save. Okay, my password's now been changed. I can come back to the login, say new pass, and log in with it. And that is all I have. Now I'd like to open it up for a question and answer session. So whatever questions you guys have, I can answer those. Go right ahead.
So Dylan, and maybe you've said this already, so let's just say I have business cards that have the app where to go to get on the app so they can start making requests. Do they have to come up with a username and password in order to? No, they all have to do is type in the DJ's info, and then it pops them up to where they can start making their requests then.
Yes, absolutely. They do not have to create their own user account information to be able to use the app. They just install it and enter in the DJ ID and they can send requests. It doesn't matter.
So, and I did like the fact that you had like notes, like if they wanted to say, I think it might be this artist, I'm not sure, sometimes people like think that they know what the artist is, and then once I realized, nope, they actually meant this artist. So,
yes, that's why I included the note functionality, simply because, there's so many things that could go wrong with it. But if you allow that note section, they can specify, oh, this song is normally explicit. You may need to find a clean version, or different things like that, so that to kind of inform the DJ of what they need to do to play the right songs.
Yeah. No, I really like that.
Okay, I'm just curious. You said you don't have the client piece working nor the business and the server pieces. Can you tell me what the status of that is? Did you run into some issues or challenges, or did you just run out of time?
Absolutely. To be honest with you, there were a lot of issues with getting all of what I do have already set up. I'm following a lot of best practices as far as architecture is concerned. I took the liberty of kind of using it as a learning experience to really hit home a very well functioning app to make sure that everything worked very well and cleanly. So basically, I'm saying that I ran out of time as one thing, but I have started on it and I'm trying to get past this roadblock that I've been at for quite some time now, trying to understand how we can get this functioning with the database, because the connection between the business version and the client version all happens through this Firebase database, which is a real-time database that can listen for changes. And so it's kind of another project in and of itself, to be honest. I didn't foresee this from the beginning when I planned it. I thought that a Firebase real-time database would be simple enough to implement, as I've done stuff with it before, but I ended up needing some more complex features to be able to get this to work. So currently it's still in development. I'm still working on that.
So do you still see Firebase as a valid solution, or are you looking at other resources?
I still see Firebase as the most valid solution for this app, simply because the time it will take to get this up and running versus another sort of database, it will actually be faster, and it will scale well.
Okay.
as well as the cost to uphold the database once we get past a certain threshold. Essentially, a Firebase database doesn't charge you in the beginning, but then will start to charge you per usage. And so that's why it's really nice to just get started up with it when you're just initially developing a project.
Okay.
So,
And
oh.
Sorry, and I know it can do what I want it to do. It's just taking the time to be able to learn it and implement it is the struggle here.
Okay. Well, I see that you've got the connection from at least your registration and your login, your authentication. So I expect that you can kind of extrapolate what you've done and get the other pieces working as well.
Yeah, and like I showed you guys before, the outcomes, I've met 2 out of the 5 outcomes, and I know that's not a lot, but I am proud of what I've done, I'm proud of what I've accomplished.
Yeah. Hey, I had a quick question.
Yeah.
So the DJ portion, is this going to be a kind of like what's the word I'm looking for? So a monthly fee that they a subscription. That's what I was thinking. It's a subscription for the DJ to be able to allow and use the database, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, I figured that's what it was. And then go ahead.
I had a question. It's kind of 2 questions about basically. So this app, does it also work on computers? So if the DJ wanted to be running it from the computer,
I was gonna ask that too.
and then additionally, is it
Yeah,
for
like a laptop.
Android only and iOS, or is it just Android?
So currently it's only an Android, and
Okay.
I don't believe it can be run on a PC without emulation software.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which isn't a big deal because I mean, with Windows 11 coming out, I mean that they'll be implementing that and stuff, and Android's better than iOS anyways.
Yeah.
But that's good.
Right. All right.
Um,
All great questions,
I-
you guys. Thank you.
I
Yeah.
have one more question. So when someone puts in a request, is it like a notification that pops up and like is put in on a list? So you can like go to that list and check out the song requests, or like if there's too many, will like some start to fade off? Like, is there any like time limit for any of them, or do you have to like remove it automatically?
So usually it's up to there can be probably a very large portion of songs that you can handle at once in a list. And it will actually be displayed here. And I didn't fully explain this in my presentation, but I'll explain it now. Here in the main function, we've got the current requests and the current queue, right? So the DJ's app will listen for changes in the database when the patron sends the requests over. Once the DJ listens for changes, it will take that data and store it on the left side here, just as the name of the song or something like that, along with the data that's within it.
And the DJ can choose which one of those current queues to add to the queue, correct?
Yes.
And the clients can see the entire queue?
The client cannot see the entire queue, but they can know what their position is in the queue and
Okay,
know
that's good.
the estimated time.
So does the DJ just drag from current request to current queue, or how do they select?
Yes. So the DJ will drag the current request to the current queue, or if they want to notify the user that their song is not an appropriate song to be played, they can touch and hold, and then it will pop up a selection where they can decide what they want to send to the user. And they can then send that, and it'll remove it from the requests.
Is there a way of eliminating what's on, for example, someone did request a song that's similar, well, like the same song that someone else requested, I can basically either eliminate any, So in other words, I've had John Doe say, I want Michael Jackson Thriller, and then I have a few other, and then all of a sudden someone throws up another Michael Jackson Thriller. I can eliminate that request, and obviously, when they hear the song, obviously they're going to go, oh yeah, there's my song,
Yeah, that will be one of the duplicates that that will be one of the functions of the press and hold. So you can decide to say, hey, this song's already been requested and will be played soon, or you can drag it over into the queue and put them in the queue. So
Oh,
yeah,
I-
so
I-
essentially there's two functionalities with the press and hold. One, you can say the song is not appropriate to be played, or two, the song has already been requested and will be played shortly. And
Oh,
so
okay.
those are the two notifications you can send to users. If there needs to be more, we can add more. But for right now, those are the two that I have planned to develop.
So I have another question. So let's say, you know, the DJ's at a big event, 400,000 people or more, or something really big, you know, like a car show or something. And you know, there's a really popular song, you know, going on the radio that that people want to listen to. So let's say you get, you know, like 15 people request the same song. Will it be in separate requests, or will they combine and like possibly show how many requests are of that one song to maybe move it up the queue or something? Or
As
just
of
the,
right-
or will it just combine it so you don't have 15 you know, baby songs from Justin Bieber or
Well,
something?
Also, yeah, well, also, couldn't there be a thing where if they type it in, they'll get a message saying this song has already been requested.
Can be
Please
already
choose,
played.
yeah, or already been played. Please choose another song.
Well, there would be a way to handle that. As of right now, the plan is to give the DJ complete and full control over what he wants to do with duplicate
Okay.
songs. And so he could literally just swipe them off there saying, okay, we don't need these. We've already got this song.
Right.
I understand that that's not the best user experience. That being said, right now, all the bare minimum requirements are simply to allow song requests to be put into the current request zone and then moved over to the queue by the DJ's
I
request.
Yeah, I do like how you do have like the current requests in a separate section, opposed to having just one list and then you're just having to. I like how you can take the song that you decide you are going to play and put it in the queue list. I do like that. That makes it really easy.
I have another question for the client side. So if the DJ decides to not put a song into the queue or removes a certain song, what will the client see if that's done? Will the client see, sorry, your song was not accepted or something, or like
Yeah.
what will be the response of the client? Because I mean that's an important part to, because you obviously don't want to just like have it, because it'd be really frustrating if it just said, you know, like your song's been requested and just says that the whole time, you know, the whole time it's been deleted.
Yes. So yes, and that's the idea, is that through the database you can also send back notifications which the users can listen for, that will let them know why their song has been canceled,
Yeah.
why their song hasn't been played.
Okay, so
And,
the DJ can select a reason then.
yes.
That's a good idea, because like Dylan was saying, you know, and the thing is, when they actually pull that app up, it's going to say, hey, you know, I can't remember how you worded it, but it was, you know, just so you know, if your song request isn't played, it's because it's either inappropriate or has either been played already, or, you know, and to please, you know, continue to make requests.
Yeah.
You know, so I mean, I do like how you'll have a description of when they use this app, what to expect.
Yes. Yep. And to kind of re-emphasize on the previous question about like if 50 duplicate songs get added, that's not the best use case, and I want to fix that later, and I will fix that later.
Perhaps like a settings option maybe for like bigger events.
Yeah, exactly. And making it so that duplicate songs, you can only get like so many duplicates, for example.
Yeah, like,
or
or like,
duplicates
you know,
at
add
max.
into like a song shows like a number on it, like how many people requested a specific song,
Yeah, exactly.
something like that.
And
Yeah,
that would, I feel
that's
like
really
that would
good.
be easy enough to do. As far as making it optimized for the database, that might be a trickier solution and will
Mhm.
take some extra time. But as of right now, the basic implementation is to just have it all sent to this current request as separate requests.
Here's a question. If so is there gonna be like a time limit on the song of like how, like, let's say the song was like 3 minutes 46 seconds. Once you start playing that one, is it gonna like get off the queue, or do you have to remove it automatically once you're done playing the song?
You would, as of right now, you would have to remove it after you were done playing it. So that's another thing, another feature we would have to add later to make it even better in the future. But as of right now, you would have to remove it manually.
Well,
Is there a way to interface?
honestly,
Right.
at this point,
Brother Olivson, what?
I was gonna ask, is there a way to interface this to the actual, system that plays the music? Or will he just have to read it and then select it manually?
yeah, that's what I was just gonna say. I think from what we were talking about and what he's got here, like for instance, I use Spotify Premium on my tablet. Okay, I have a cell phone that I'm using the app, and so in essence, when someone hits a request up, I'm looking. Oh yeah, I'm gonna play this one. I think with the app, it makes it categorized so that I can see in line people that are requesting stuff. And so in essence, if I wanted to eliminate on the queue on the app songs I've already played, then I can do so. I mean, it would be nice if it was all implemented into, but I think DJs use different programs with their DJ.
Yeah, they use different software.
Yeah, and so in essence, this is literally just kind of a nice, easy way for, I go to DJ at a wedding, I've got some business cards with my number of two on it, and I let people go, hey, I'd like to make requests. Here's this business card with my name, my advertising, and then this is the code, this is the app and the code you type in. And then I've already got my cell phone ready to go so that when they do decide to make a request, it shows up. And yeah, so at this point, it's literally an app for the DJ in order for him to not have people rushing up to the table and making requests while you're trying to decide what you're going to play next. And like Dylan said at the very beginning, they write down something and then the lighting is always going to be dark when you're DJing anyway, and you look at it like, what was he saying here? So anyway, yeah. So as far as Tannen's question, I mean, it's not necessarily gonna go away as soon as I play the song. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
So to answer Brother Leveson's question and yours slightly, I would say that there is a way to interface that with music software. Although it would be somewhat complicated and out of my skill range as of now. But there would be a way to move the current request over to the queue, and when you move it to the queue, have it queue up in your music software.
Yeah.
There would be a way to interface that, I believe. With the right permissions, you would be able to do that. Now, depending on what kind of software you're using and what permissions those applications offer, that may vary. And so I can't say for sure whether Spotify will be able to do that, or YouTube Music, or whatever software, but I can say that there would be a way to interface that with software, with the current software.
So maybe you could have different levels of the app for the DJ to purchase. Like if they know that they have a program that they want to use this, they would purchase the app that would interface with their music, or people like myself that just use, online Spotify, that they would use this basic one that we're talking about, and it wouldn't be as expensive or something,
So
That's a way we could do that.
So-
yeah.
Like a premium.
So you have basically a free
Yeah.
membership, which would just show you the notes or like the notifications, and then if you had a membership,
It'd be
it
like a
can, like,
cheaper membership. Right.
put the platform into
The
the app.
idea as of now was to make the business portion of the app a membership. And that means that they would pay a monthly subscription to it. And then probably how we would do it is we'd start it at a pretty low cost and then up it as we come out with updates or improvements, such as being able to automatically interface with like Spotify, for instance. So the
Yeah.
idea is offering it now at a cheaper price per month, and then upgrading it and upping the subscription just a little bit with the new
Yeah.
features that are being
So
added.
what price are you thinking per month, right? As of right now at the base level?
Truthfully, at the base level, I can't give much of a great estimate as of now. I was thinking roughly $10, $15 a month just to start.
Yeah. Well, and we don't have anything to base it off of, like what other, I mean, this is actually the only software I know of that someone like myself that DJs can do. Yeah. So,
I have
Yeah.
a question regarding maintenance. So like after everything's said and done, will there need to be updates to keep everything live? Or will there need to be server maintenance to clear out old accounts, or is that automated? Like what
So,
what
I will
will be
be-
your time on that?
I will be programming the database functionality and such that it will be handled automatically. So
Oh.
that
cool.
the database stuff will not have to be maintained manually. However, as far as like as Android comes out with new updates, there will need to be some maintenance done there. But that can be
Mhm.
done and managed through, Google Play Store and making sure that you're up to date with the current versions.
Right. Huh. Yeah.
Well, I like everything I've seen. What do you need from me, Dylan?
Honestly, all I needed was for you to be here and to ask me questions. That was it.
All right, I don't need to fill
You did
out a
great.
form to say that we met or anything like that. You'll just take it from here.
Yes, I'm going to submit this video, this presentation that we've done here,
Alright.
and submit it to them. And they'll
Okay.
see, okay, he was in there, he's asking questions. That's pretty much it. Honestly, it hasn't been too difficult of a process. I know I haven't really talked to you much about it during the project. I probably should have, but
Everything looks good to me.
Looks like you've
Yeah.
done just fine. So I'm happy to participate in this, and I wish you success. And with this, it looks like it's a great product. I think it could fly.
Oh yeah. I think
Looks
it'd be
amazing.
amazing. I think it's
Yeah.
amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, it's so good. I'll buy it from you.
I appreciate it. Thank you guys.
I'll use it at my parties.
All right.
I'll invest. You looking for investors?
Not
Want a
yet.
marketer?
Not yet.
All right, well, I think
Well, let
I'm
me
gonna
know.
leave. So thanks for your work, and we'll see you around.
Thanks.
Hey.
All right.
Appreciate it.
Pleasure to meet you.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. All
So,
right.
hey, so Dylan, I was just gonna say, oh, hi, Nicholas. I can see you
Hey.
now.